your GIS is not correct because they're putting earthworks in now as we speak. So you're going to have to take that GIS and you get the layout of the whole thing, and you probably get the top contours and you have the bottom contours, but you need to assume that the contours are no longer like this, it's like this. Okay, so change some of those contour lines.
Not quite sure why that's done that. I agree. Okay, so with the Auckland plans, as you can see, you can zoom in on them, and there's a bar graph down the bottom here. That becomes really important when it comes to scaling your drawing. Really important. You see it's changing around as we go. Up here is your layers. Assets is what you're looking for, and you're probably going to turn on stormwater, underground services.
So
Yeah.
you may well find that it doesn't have the backbone lines in there. So you may have to put the services in. So the services may be out of date as well.
Okay.
So you need to put the backbone ones in.
So some may be out of date, some won't. You may be only able to find a manhole that you're going to connect into. And as you can see, there's a lot of services popping up now on the screen. Red's sewage, green is stormwater, and the blue is water. Okay. So let's zoom in a bit, because we're probably going to be able to scale something like that. So notice how it's a little bit easier now to transfer it. So down the bottom, what I do is I do a screenshot of that and bring in a JPEG. But somebody showed me the other day that you can save it. Is that right?
As AutoGrid file.
Whereabouts? Yeah.
As AutoGrid file.
Yes. Where's that? You know?
Printer?
This one? Oh, it's print. Print. So.
Now you change, I think you change the template. It says AutoGrid file.
Cool. Yeah, okay, so it's going to do a PDF. I tend to do a screenshot, so I'm going to do that initially. Remember, things don't have to be 100% accurate. When you work with me, we were getting things quite accurate with our contours and how close we were to things. With the GIS, it's just important to be able to know that that's where a manhole is. It's approximately in the middle of that section, and that's what we're joining into. So you're doing your best to do a preliminary design. They will put surveys out there. They'll pick up all the stuff that's not on here. But initially, I'm just going to go print screen on that if I can read it. I don't usually use the keyboard. I might have to go and get my glasses out of there. Oh no, here it is. Print screen. Alright, and then I'll go into AutoCAD and I'll go Control V and dump it there. Now there it is in AutoCAD. Now that's 6 metres, so I do a line along the bottom. Keep it parallel if I can. And type 6, enter. So that's 6 metres. It's not too far off the 6 metres up there, so I'm quite pleased about that. And on top of this thing here, I just draw a line from there to there. And then you just do the align command, which is ALIGN, enter, grab all of that, so the green window from that point to that point, and from that point to that point, enter. Down the bottom, do you want to scale them? Y, enter. And we've now got a plan that is to scale, or very close to scale. It won't be 100% perfect. So this means, looking at that, you can trace the boundaries, you can trace the edges of the roads, you can put your stormwater, your existing stormwater, existing water, and existing sewage in there. Then, like you said, you'll need to check out whether it's there or not. Then you've got to go to Q.
So, I've given you the drawings to the backbone works, okay?
Yep.
So, you might want to do the same for the backbone works and put it away.
Yep.
So, you're using doing all this to get something you can trace. And so, what you do there is producing your own base plan. It was like tracing what you've got there.
So now, if an AutoCAD, I'll get out. I drew over the top of that. That's going to be a reasonably accurate drawing. Then you get rid of the JPEG or move it somewhere else. You could keep it, move your accurate drawing over. The stuff that Q's got will have some of these boundary points on it, won't it, Q? Yeah.
Just thinking about it, you're probably going to be doing this not with the GIS, you're probably going to be using the backbone plan because it's got the final earthworks as well. Yeah. So you can get contours off that and everything like that.
So you do that. You do need to know on the backbone plans a distance because I use that distance, right? So if you can't find a distance on the backbone plans, then you need to know. You need to orientate it with, say, 2 points here, two sections, the edge of the boundaries. That'll work as well. So once you get your distance, then you're going to get something in there, and then you're going to have to try and put it into a viewport. Now, just a little bit of a reminder. Good old civils, because you've got XP factors coming into play. So when you go into your layout, you use something like that, and the first thing you do is you print to a suitable size. Now I think by memory Hugh's drawings he goes to A3, so you go to your plot first, which is drawing to PDF, and then Hugh's will be try to do the full bleed if you can, because that way that takes the drawing to the outer skirts as much as you can.
So it has to be readable at A3.
Yeah. A3 full bleed. Am I getting it? Yes.
Yeah, typically not too small.
So I'm going to give you a text size to use in a second because it's my suggested one. So there's A3 full bleed. I'm going to click on that. Watch out for this units down here. Biggest mistake students make is they don't change that to 1. And then don't worry about monochrome at this stage, but to be honest, Hugh prefers monochrome because you're probably going to be printing it in black and white. So a lot of students on this course use colour, and they go, oh, there's the stormwater, it's red, green, purple, pink. And then if you think about it, the client's going to print it out and you go, oh, I can't tell the difference between any of the lines. One might be a bit lighter, that's about it. So the clever person will do black and white. So you may have to maybe do SW every now and then along the line, like you know, break it like a contour, and then it's a stormwater line, or W for water, etc. So the best way to stop you from getting excited about colour is to go monochrome. Then apply the layout and cancel, and that's when the drawing disappears. So this little dot down the bottom, you probably remember that from civil drawing. Stretch it up a bit, out a bit, and go inside it, bring it, you'll need room for a title dot at the bottom. And the other thing that looks professional is a nice even gap around them. waiting for your title block at the bottom. Right, I usually bring this to the middle, so I know what I'm dealing with. And if I just wanted lots 20 and 30A, I wanted about that, what I do is I bring it into exactly where I want it. I go list, and then I try and work out a close scale. So if I list that, comes up at 5.5 XP. So I know already from my experience that 1,000 divided by 200 is going to give me 5. So if I go inside the viewport and go Z enter 1,000 / 200 XP, enter, it's kind of, that's it. That is a scale of 1 to 200, which will fit on A3. And I've cracked the code. Right? So, yeah, it's gone on a step from what I taught you. This time you're choosing the scale. It may be, I'm only just showing you this one. It may be that Hugh's drawing fits at 1 to 500 or something like that. The text types I suggest you use 2.5 for very small stuff like contours and that sort of thing, and 3.5 for all your main text and your arrows. Now that is in layout space. So whatever your scale is, remember you multiply it by, that would be 200. So I'd multiply that by 3.5, and I'll get 750. Is that right?
Yes.
750. And then I divide it by 1,000 because we're in meters, and so my text type would be 0.75 at a scale of 200. Right? So whatever your scale does determine what your final model space text is, but that's what we're trying to get to. A good check is just to draw a layout space, that text type, or that one there, and when you've done it in model, if it's exactly the same, then you've got it, you've nailed it. All right. Where students go wrong with this is they don't stick to this 3.5, and headings would be 5. Okay. So if you've got a heading of something like notes or a locality plan or something, heading would be 5. If you stick to that, it'll look rather professional. But if you start just making up your own text types, it looks alright, and whatever your arrow sizes, Hugh will take one look at it. And I mean, Hugh doesn't teach drawing, but he'll take a look at it and go, ugh. It just doesn't look like an A drawing. It looks more like something that might scrape through if they're lucky. Yeah.
That drawing, Mark, is standard drawing. Are you giving us a professional drawing?
Yes. Obviously, the
everything correct.
Your AutoCAD title block there, if you haven't got one, I'll throw one on Moodle for you, and a logo. And that needs to look professional as well. But that will fit. The one that I've got, I think we scale it by 1,000 for A1, so if you scale it by 500, it'll probably fit quite nicely down the bottom there. Once again, that's not so important on this course, as long as it tucks in nicely down the bottom. What I teach them for you is to put a second viewport on the right hand side with all the legend and notes and that sort of thing. It looks a lot neater. But I mean, it depends on your drawing, it depends what fits where. You might have to put your notes all around the drawings. Okay? So that same logic there, do the same thing with Hugh's ones that he's put on Moodle. Screenshot and then back in at the right scale. Okay? The other thing is, in model space, but what I didn't teach you in other drawings is you've now got image files what you can do is you can go tools, drawing order, bring to the front or send to the back. Now they're quite important commands, because if you do some drawings on top of that there, like say you put your own stormwater line connecting in, if that automatically went to the back, it'll go behind the image and you won't see it on the print. So you'll produce your final drawings and none of your lines will be on there, it'll just be the image file. Right? But if you go bring to the front, it'll bring your lines to the front on top of it, or send to the back for the image. We do that with aerial photography a lot with roads and stuff, with proposals, show the road on top.
Well,
Yeah.
the screenshots you take, throw them out and just leave your own background.
Yeah. There's only so many times you leave screenshots in there. Perhaps if there was a lot of trees or something like that were important, I don't know. What's that?
Just draw them.
Just draw them on, yeah.
Okay, so one more thing I've got for the drawing set. The drawing sheet should start with a title page.
Yeah.
Big writing what the project name is, location, and a table of contents. These are what the drawings are. Okay, so keep that in mind too. Okay, Roger?
No. Yep, they can.
So Roger will be here for a few sessions after the break, and then help you with your care, and I'll be here for all the time. So the sessions from here on in, you bring your stuff in, and we chat about it. Okay? Well done, Roger?
Yeah, so you can email me if you want. If you're having some sort of difficulty, it's probably easier to do a screenshot. So not quite being able to do this and get any suggestions. But I'll be here after the break for 1 or 2 sessions to help you fine-tune your drawings.
Okay. So have a good break, and looking forward to seeing what you come up with. As I said, the next 2 weeks